Hi everybody, welcome back to Allison Bakes Your Day. This week I am baking my friends Blaze and Laura's day. Their favorite flavors that they gave me were toffee, strawberry, and cardamom. What? Those are amazing flavors, very unique. I'm super excited. With those flavors, I am making something I've never made before. It's not made very often here in America because it is an English recipe. It's a British recipe. So we're making sticky toffee pudding today. It's a British staple. I think it's one of their Christmas dishes that's a staple. We are going to make a strawberry sticky toffee pudding with a Cardamom Creme Anglaise. And in the toffee sauce, I'm also going to put some strawberries, so it's a strawberry toffee sauce, so that we have good strawberry flavor, hint of the cardamom, and that toffee caramel is gonna be gorgeous, hopefully. We're using multiple kinds of sugar. We need regular sugar for our creme anglaise, and we need some brown sugar for the sticky toffee cake. And then we also need some raw sugar. I just have a thing of raw sugar in the raw right here. That is gonna go in the toffee sauce. This is gonna be amazing. Let's do it. First things first, we're gonna start with the Cardamom Creme Anglaise. Creme Anglaise is a type of custard. It's not going to thicken up the way that the custards that we've done previously are. This is more of a custard sauce. We're going to start with half a cup each of whole milk and heavy cream. Whole milk going into our saucepan. And wow. Why am I so weak when I'm trying to open things? Got my hands all wet. Getting nervous. Come on. Wow. I promise I'm stronger than that. I promise. Sassy cream. Okay. Now we need a half cup of the half a cup of heavy cream. Now looking at that, I probably could have done a smaller saucepan, but it's always nice to have extra room just in case. You know what I mean? Plus, with this larger space, it'll heat faster. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So I totally did it on purpose. So, because we're doing custard, I haven't done this in a while, but guess what that means? We're gonna separate some eggs. Separate some eggs. We're gonna put our, come on, egg. Don't be this way. Put our egg white, this little container, and I'm gonna make some meringue cookies, or maybe I'll make some macaroons. Set these off to the side so we can make macaroons. Woohoo! Okay, I'm heating the milk. Try to keep it like a medium to medium high. You are gonna bring it to a boil. Meanwhile, almost forgot. Oh my god. In with our milk, we need 25 grams of sugar, or 1/4 of a cup. We're gonna put the other half of our sugar into our eggs. And we need 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla, just a touch. And then we need 1/2 of a teaspoon of cardamom, ground cardamom. This is boiling. We're gonna turn this off real quick. We're gonna whisk this egg mixture together with the cardamom and the vanilla and the sugar. Woo, cardamom, smell that cardamom. If you've never had cardamom before, it's kind of a floral flavor. Tempering our eggs. Keep it going. Drizzle in a little bit of your warm milk, half of it, so that we don't scramble the eggs. I think that's good. Now I'm gonna take this back over the heat. So we gotta switch up the camera. Hang tight, be right back. All right, now we've got a new camera angle. We are going to put this back in here on medium-low heat, and then we're gonna whisk this until it thickens. Whoop, whoop. This should thicken in about 2 minutes. All right, this looks like it's thickening. Let's see if it coats the back of the spoon. Let's grab this spoon. And see, you have to do that. And that means it's ready. Ooh, tasty. Ooh, damn. It's perfection. Yay. We're gonna put this in a jug and we're gonna let it cool in the fridge for the next 3 hours. What? Everything takes so long. It's mostly just wording. Mostly just waiting. The mouth never works. Ooh. I was just gonna pour this directly into a jar, but I am gonna strain it because it does say to strain it, and I thought that was for the like vanilla seeds because they said to use the vanilla pod, but I don't have one, so I use vanilla extract. But I'm gonna strain it because there is some, I think, just lumps from the milk solids cooking. So I'm just gonna do what the experts say and strain it. Ain't no thing. Got a strainer, might as well use it. Come on, creme anglaise. Oh my, I thought that was just gonna strain really easy, but I'm going to manipulate it. Manipulate, come on, if you're a good creme anglaise, you just go right through. I'm going to pour this into this jar, and we're gonna stick it in the fridge to chill. I'm gonna let that cool to room temperature for 20 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna stick it in the fridge to chill. To chill out, just chill out. For the puddings, we are going to start by greasing and lining our tins, our ramekins. So I get to use my fun little fancy ramekins again. Now these are about 8 ounces, and it says to use tins that are about 7 ounces. So I figure they at least won't, overflow. You have to grease these, butter them, and then dust them with flour, as I like to say. Softened butter, and you grease your ramekins with your softened butter. Uno más. Gonna wash the schmutz off my hand before we flour. That makes sense. So I'm just gonna dust some flour into the center of these. Tip it around so that you get some flour sticking to all the buttery edges and sides. Tap out any excess flour. Tap this out over the trash. Now that these are buttered and floured, we're going to stick them on this baking sheet. We're gonna set it off to the side. I'm boiling some water. We're gonna measure out 65 grams of dates and 65 grams of strawberries. Now I'm experimenting with this. I just looked up sticky toffee pudding, and it calls for just dates in this part, but I'm gonna add strawberries because we're just gonna rehydrate these. So I figured chopping up some strawberries and adding it to the rehydrated dates before you puree it. You're just getting those sugary goodnesses. Oh, yay, 65. Had to find the right size. So we're gonna set these right here. Use this bowl. It's 66. I'm gonna put a small one in because I know I'm gonna cut these tops off. I'm gonna trim the tops off of these. When I cut the tops off, we lost some grammage, so we needed some more. Water's boiling. Cut your toe. Strawberry. So next I'm gonna chop up these dates. If you dampen a paper towel and stick it on your cutting board, it won't move. That way you don't have this thing sliding and then you accidentally cut yourself. What? Pro tip. I'm gonna chop up these dates. We are going to put them in to this 100 milliliters or half a cup, approximately half a cup, a little less than half a cup of boiling water to soften and rehydrate them. You know what that means? Time lapse! Now that we have our dates in our boiling water, we're gonna set this off to the side for 30 minutes to cool down and rehydrate these dates and soften them up so that we can blend them into a nice little puree with our strawberries. It's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna chop up these strawberries real quick. Chopped! We need to beat this egg because it's been a bad egg. Yeah, take that. Just kidding. You're an amazing egg. Dream date. I think that's good. Gigantic bowl. In this bowl, we're going to measure out 50 grams of softened butter. So I'm going to see how much this is. Oh, it's going to be close. We're only going to need like 2 grams of butter. 3 grams of butter. Huh. Oh, nope. Just kidding. 2 grams. Called it. Nailed it. More softened butter. You're gonna need the tiniest little bit. It might even be too much, oh God. Exactly 2 grams. Wow, I'm really getting good at the eyeball thing. I'll leave this out to stay softened because we're gonna need it for the toffee sauce. Just like my spin moves. The hills are alive with the sound of pudding. We need 80 grams of brown sugar. Now, the English recipe does call for a special type of brown sugar called demerara sugar. It's just an extra sort of unrefined. It's kind of like, it's sugar in the raw, but brown sugar in the raw. So it's deeper molasses flavor. 80 grams of our just regular brown sugar, because you can substitute that if you can't find the demerara. You can always order it online. Let's preheat the oven. Set to 350. We're gonna measure out 100 grams of flour. It's gonna be a little over half of a cup, like half a cup and 2 tablespoons. We're gonna do 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Give that a little stir to combine it. Now we're gonna beat our softened butter and our brown sugar together, and then we're gonna gradually add our egg a little bit at a time. That is nice and creamy and smooth. Now, we are going to beat in our molasses, so we need 1.5 tablespoons. I didn't do my pro tip by greasing this. Rookie mistake. Let's grease these. I'm just doing 1.5 teaspoons here, because that's half a tablespoon. Much better. You can see this I did not use the greasing on, and that one I did. That makes a huge difference. We're gonna beat in this molasses. We're gonna measure out 60 milliliters of milk. The recipe specifically says to fold in your flour and alternate your flour and your milk with a metal spoon. So I'm gonna take like 1/3 of this. So we're just gonna add like 20 milliliters of this. We'll mix this in, splash it all over yourself. Do that. A little bit more of our flour. Just scooping it with my hands so we don't make it weird. I'll make it weird, don't worry. The original recipe made 7 puddings. A, what an odd number. B, we are going over to Blaze's house to have dinner with him and Laura. So I only wanted to make 4 because this is the dessert for our dinner that we're having. We're all fully vaccinated now, so we're all down to clown. Just did some math to only make 4 puddings, so I'm just kind of praying that it all works out. We're gonna gently stir this time so I don't splash milk everywhere. Okay, now comes the fun part. So these are the dates that have been soaking in here. I just tossed the strawberries in, and we are going to puree this all together so that we can add it to our batter. All right, that was fun. Make a mess, per usual. I've got my strawberry date mixture. Now we're just gonna stir this into the batter. I'm gonna actually put this into this measuring cup so I can see how much I've got to try to evenly disperse it between these ramekins. We're just gonna start with that. We'll scrape out the rest. This is exactly 2 cups of the batter. We're gonna try to get a full half a cup of batter in each. So we'll start here, and we'll just pour a little bit in. Oh, we're just gonna fling it everywhere, because that's awesome. Dang it. I feel like that worked really well. Just want to make sure everybody gets the same amount of deliciousness. And you, sassy. We've got a good amount of batter left here. Probably another 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to shake these so that they're even. These are going to go into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. So we'll start with 20 and then see where we're at. Here we go. Here you go, puddings. Moving on to the toffee sauce. Toffee sauce. I have some raw sugar here. We're gonna measure out 100 grams of raw sugar. I've got 30 grams of softened butter that I chopped up into cubes. We need 60 milliliters of heavy cream. We're gonna do 65 milliliters of heavy cream. Let's shift this camera and make this toffee sauce. Now I'm gonna turn this up to a medium heat. We're gonna add our sugar in. We're gonna do another time lapse so we can watch the chemical reaction happen. Sped up. I always find that cool. I hope you guys do too. Hang tight. So we're ready to really beautiful dark toffee color. Just waiting for the sugar to fully dissolve. So hang tight, everybody. Now before we add the strawberry cream mixture that I'm gonna puree up, we have to put in a half tablespoon of molasses. Got molasses in there. Oh yeah. Feels like most of it's definitely melted at this point. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. We do have to turn the mixture up now that we've added our molasses. And we're gonna turn this up so that it will start to boil, and we'll let it bubble for 2 to 3 minutes. Meanwhile, I shall puree some raspberries into some heavy cream. Never done that before. What? But first, ooh! Well, don't those look beautiful? Yay! So we're gonna turn the heat off. I'm just gonna give this a little whisk. Ooh, wow, that smells deep and rich. I hope I got enough strawberry in there. I just kind of made it up. We're gonna switch the camera again, and then we're gonna finish off these bad boys. Let's do it. I don't have a palette knife, but I have this little like cheese knife that's similar. So we're gonna do this around the edges here to loosen it from the sides. Now that we've loosened them from the sides, we are going to flip it over. Wish me luck. Oh yes, aha! Yay, it's a pudding. We did it. Aha! I am going to transfer this. Up, up, up. There we go. I'm gonna turn out the rest of these, but what I'm gonna do is stick these all in here and put some sauce on them. You'll pop them in the oven to warm them up, and then we'll top it with that creme anglaise as well. I'm gonna bring this over there like this. We'll pop this in the oven to warm them all, then we'll plate them up, and then we'll see you there. Well, thank you so much for joining me for Allison Bakes Your Day. I will see you later at Blaze's house, and we will finish these off, taste them, and we'll see what Blaze and Laura think. All right, here we go. We took them out of the oven. We put the creme anglaise on there.
I'm excited
got
about
a little
this.
strawberry garnish, our sticky toffee pudding.
I just want to cheat it towards camera a little bit.
Here we go. Get that cardamom creme anglaise on there. We have more
There we
if
go.
we need it. Here we go. Yeah?
Wow. It's really amazing. It's so light and then so deep with flavor. When you're biting into it, I feel like it has such a nice pudding. It's exactly what you described. A pudding but cake-like. Soft cake texture.
Yeah.
And I think that the creme anglaise, when you really get it in there, to me, that's what sends it over the edge because it has more of like an herbaceous flavor.
Do you get the strawberry flavor in the cake?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I was worried about it not being strawberry enough.
I would say it comes across more as a tartness.
Oh, good.
Than
Okay.
I would identify as specifically as like strawberry.
Great.
So it's more of a tartness to it.
Great.
But it's effing delicious.
And
if
the
I can
toffee
say that.
sauce?
Dude, and what I like about toffee sauce is it actually has a tiny touch of bitterness that balanced against the sugarness.